Welcome everyone to the second episode of PWU List This. If you guys want early access to future PWU List This episodes, you could do so by becoming a patron at patreon.com/PWUnlimited. Last week, we focused on the top 10 Royal Rumble surprise and returning entrants. In the wake of the shocking news about Dean Ambrose not renewing his contract this coming April, this episode will focus on wrestlers who have left the company. Let's get started. Debuting in 2002 under the moniker Deacon Batista alongside Reverend Devon, Batista had the looks of a WWE superstar. A year after his introduction to the fans, in 2003, Batista was a part of one of the most famous stables in WWE history, Evolution. He was a 6-time WWE champion and a 3-time tag team champion. During his last reign as WWE champion, Batista would end up losing the title to John Cena at WrestleMania 26. He left WWE due to disagreements with the direction of the company and his character, as well as to pursue a career in film. 3 years later, Batista would return for a brief 6 months and flirted with the world title scene, but losing to the rising star Daniel Bryan before leaving the company once again. Current WWE Universal Champion
Brock Lesnar
has floated back and forth with WWE since the start of his career, really. Debuting in 2002, we saw him make his first departure in 2004, attempting to pursue a career in football, and that didn't go very well. After a bright red face and his number 69 was the only highlight he got, Brock found comfort as a UFC fighter. Lesnar would return to the WWE, the Raw after WrestleMania in 2012 to confront a defeated John Cena. After that, he would show up sporadically with matches against guys like Undertaker, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and AJ Styles. No one has been able to top the Beast, but this coming WrestleMania, Seth Rollins has that opportunity. Chris Jericho, currently signed to All Elite Wrestling, has left WWE numerous times. One major factor leading to his constant time off was due to his rock band Fozzy, as he is the lead singer of that group and would constantly go on tour. Jericho found himself in the middle of an opportunity of a lifetime, as New Japan came knocking on his door, asking him to work with Kenny Omega. Chris took the offer and found a new light in wrestling. Chris would go on to feud with IWGP Intercontinental Champion Naito, and officially signing his contract with a little tiny promotion known as All Elite Wrestling. Swagger was best known for his time in the WWE alongside Zeb Coulter and Cesaro in the We the People storyline. Do you remember that? Probably not. In 2017, Swagger asked for his release to the company with no avail. Swagger began to advertise himself for indie events, leading to his firing. Swagger, since leaving, has had a lot of luck, most notably appearing on Lucha Underground and picking up his first win in Bellator. One of the most talked about stories in professional wrestling was the holdout of and release of former WWE superstar Neville, now known as Pac. On the October 9th, 2017 edition of Raw, Neville would walk out of the building, frustrated with how they were treating him. For most of 2018, we didn't hear or see from the man that gravity forgot. No social media posts, no appearances for wrestling, nothing at all. Until he made his surprise return as Pac for Dragon Gate. Neville would go on to capture gold in Dragon's Gate and sign a contract with All Elite Wrestling, much like Chris Jericho.
Ever wanted to eat and cook like your favorite WWE superstars and legends? Well, now you can with WWE, the official cookbook. WWE has teamed up with Inside Editions to bring you the recipes your favorite WWE superstars love. From Bailey's Chicken Nuggets to Ric Flair's Woo Beef Pies and more, there is something in here for everyone. Leading up to the launch of this cookbook on March 19th, we will be bringing you some exclusive videos showing you some of these great recipes. Now head over to the link in the description below to pre-order your copy now.
Cody is known for a lot of things with his time in WWE. Some things like Legacy, alongside Ted DiBiase and Randy Orton, Stardust, and Dashing Cody Rhodes. Cody has gone on record stating that when he would go to Vince McMahon to give him suggestions, he felt that Vince wasn't listening to him, and felt like Vince would keep pushing the same wrestlers for the past decade. Frustration built up, which led to Cody asking for his release. Cody would end up wrestling for promotions such as New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and the National Wrestling Alliance. Cody is now the executive vice president of the new and highly anticipated promotion, All Elite Wrestling. Ryback made his debut as part of the Nexus as Skip Sheffield, and if that isn't the most generic name on earth, I don't know what is. In his career, Ryback would go on to win the Intercontinental Championship, but never touched much more of that. Ryback was upset about his pay from the company, feeling that he was a top guy and should receive top guy money. Ryback announced that he is leaving the company because of the money disputes, and then proceeded to block me on Twitter. Why, Ryback? Why did you do that? Why did you block me? Please unblock me. The Rock has turned from one of the most over guys in the WWE to one of the most loved men in Hollywood. In 2002, the Great One would leave the WWE to begin a career in Hollywood and would have a minor role in The Mummy Returns, which led then to a starring role in The Scorpion King, which was not a very good film. The Rock has also starred in movies like Baywatch, Jumanji, Fighting with My Family, and Moana, just to name a few. The Rock would return to face John Cena at WrestleMania 28, as well as win the WWE Championship from CM Punk at the Royal Rumble, only then to lose it to John Cena a year later at WrestleMania 29. Hey, speaking of CM Punk, one of the most talked about and controversial situations in the WWE history has involved CM Punk. Punk was a top guy in the company, wrestling barn burner matches and being a master on the microphone. He held the WWE Championship for over a year, faced The Rock at the Royal Rumble, then faced Undertaker. But he lost his passion for the industry, and so many backstage issues led to him wanting to leave. Punk was a guest on Colt Cabana's podcast, Art of Wrestling, and told an hour-long story of what led to his departure to the WWE. To give the too long didn't read version, Punk had a staph infection right on his rear end that could have killed him, and doctors didn't treat Punk fairly or at all. Punk and Cabana were involved in a lawsuit from WWE Dr. Chris Amon and ended up winning. Punk has made it very clear that he will never return to professional wrestling, though he did try his hand in the MMA and, well, lost to Mickey Gall and Mike Jackson. So, that didn't go too well, did it? The Texas Rattlesnake seemed to be enjoying life, cracking open beers every night, sticking his finger to the crowd, and stomping mud holes in people and walking them dry. 2002 was not a good year for Stone Cold. He went from being at the very top of the world to a mid-carder at best. Austin refused to job to Lesnar on a random episode of Raw, and walked out of the WWE for 6 months. During this time, Austin said he was at home and received no pay multiple times while his podcasts. That's going to do it for this edition of PWU List This. You can follow me on Twitter at PW_Armstrong, and you can subscribe to be a patron at patreon.com/PW Unlimited.